proper day back at work. Can you believe it? Let's say proper day. It's any day a proper day when you work for yourself. But what I did do at the weekend, I made sure that we stocked up. We've got the biscuits, we've got the coffee, we've got the cupboard full of stuff, and we got the fridge full of stuff. Chocolate galore, everything. Hopefully, it might last a little bit longer than a few days. Can't guarantee that though. Now, one of the good things about this is that only living down the road and getting a bike because of lockdown is that actually cycling to work. How good's that? So yeah, came down the weekend, dropped all the kit back here. So yeah, let's see if this continues, especially my healthy. Yeah, yeah, it's all right while the sun's out. Fair weathered rider, I think that's what it's going to be. So this little beauty's come today, which is 16 terabytes of RAID storage. It's a Buffalo device. Doing a bit of research on what to get, looking at all the different things. This fitted the boat for cost, features. Yeah, that's probably it really. Yes, we could have gone bigger and had bigger stuff, but didn't need it just yet. We want somewhere where we can just dump current work that we're working on between two stations just to edit, and that's it. Nothing special into it. We might have an area on there for archiving exports off to, but if we lose them, we lose them. We don't really care in that sense. But we just want something that we can work off. It's got gigabit Ethernet, but it's also got 10 gigabit backbone Ethernet in there as well. So that we can have multiple stations accessing it with a pretty decent throughput, as though we're working locally, to be fair. So that should work for that. Hopefully that's all going to be good. I've just realized that the switch that we ordered to make all this connect fast, should I say, and we've only had one cable delivered as well. Which is a Cat 6e cable. Yeah, we've got parts missing. Jesus, I thought it was all here. We have got this UPS to go with it as well. This is actually a 3-pin socket UPS, not the IEC ones, which I would have liked to had, which would have been fine for an IEC just for this, but I wanted to connect the switch to it as well, because what's the point of the network going down and losing data transfer and there's none. That came with a DC adapter, which is a 3-pin. To get an adapter for a UPS, which goes from IEC to 3-pin, was £42. What is that all about? £42. That was just almost as much as a UPS. So I paid a little bit extra and got a UPS with the 3 pins in, and just thought, you know what? We can stick the router in there and everything else, so let's not worry about it too much. We'll go for that. So that's what we did. Also sort of got a little red Samsung T5 SSD because it's red. We use the black 2 gig ones here for doing work, but this is red. It's red. Oh, how good does that look? Yeah. So I'm not going to show you just yet of putting all this together because we haven't got all the parts. Hopefully they will be here today. I'm hoping, because I was looking forward to playing with this. And we'll have a little setup of this and hopefully get a little RAID going that we can put the stuff onto. It's a lot easier than having external hard drives floating all around the place. and having multiple backups because we haven't got the redundancy that this thing's got. That doesn't mean we're not doing backups. If someone broke in or this place burnt down, we'd still lose all the data on this. What I'm not worried about is the day-to-day data loss of it. So yes, backups are important. Do your backups. Okay, so the server's all up. Oh, thank God, it took a little bit longer than I thought. So we've got a few different shares in there, which I thought I'd share, no pun intended, where's that? How it was done. So we've got a video exports folder in there, which is where we export everything that we do. We export it in the master, 4K and 1080. So we've got some future proofing in there, we've got social media edits in there. But if we want to do our own marketing, we can just take snippets straight out of the master, which is great. We then got another share in there. Oh, that's not backed up, by the way. That's just there. If I lose it, I lose it. I don't care. At the end of the day, we can just re-export. It's too heavy a folder to keep backing up for no good reason. The other folder that we've got a share which is video jobs. So we work on these T5 discs. Brilliant, superb little drives. We can work at the studio, we can work at home, it doesn't matter. We can work on site and look at stuff, drop the footage on, back it up. It's brilliant. And that's backed up via Time Machine as we work on whatever machine we're working on. So it's always got a backup of the current work as well. When we finish the job though, there'll be a link here. I can never remember which side it is. There'll be a link to our workflow in Final Cut and how we consolidate everything and put it all into one file so that we can just drop it straight onto the server. And if we ever need to access it in the future, a different editor needs to access it to get something or to change something for it, they can just go in, everything's there. They haven't got to search for anything, it's just all there. It just works in one simple file. And that's the way we want to work, really. That folder, that share is actually backed up on the cloud overnight. Might take a couple of days depending on how large it is. Don't care. It's not like we're dropping stuff on every single day into that. We'll drop probably 2 or 3 of those on a week. It's got all week to upload that and to do it. Superb. That's all we need. Just drop it up into the cloud. It's backed up into there. We're quite happy. Meanwhile, it's still on our Time Machine from when it was on the little T5 drive. So we've got a copy there, which is brilliant. And then we've got a video B-roll share. That share is whenever we do a project and we've got a cornfield in it, we've got some manufacturing plant with no identifiable people in and no intellectual property in there that we could potentially use again somewhere else if we need some stuff. Especially we've got stuff like mountain biking and stuff when we've done stuff like that, which we might use in the footage. It's really good idea to get a B-roll folder and just have all that stuff in there, labelled up, ready to rock and roll when you need it. If you're doing YouTube, that should be superb because you never know when you want to refer back to something and you, oh, which vlog was that in? Oh, I've got to go back and find it. You've got it in the folder, it's there, it's labelled, it's really easy to get to. Yes, it's not colour graded, it's the raw footage, but things progress anyway. People's styles progress. You might not want the same colour grade that you had 2 years ago. You might want to do your own, and that gives you the flexibility to do that. So that's a little tip. We used to do it in photography actually. We always used to take pictures of skies, things like that, and we'd put it straight into a folder so that we could access it to replace skies on landscapes or anything. I don't do that. Not with landscapes. I want them how I want them. That's the whole point of me going out and doing it. But in the commercial world, I've used it quite a lot. So quite often I've been and we've done an architectural shoot, for instance. We've only got that day to do it because they've cleared the car park, everything else, the sky's just boring. It is really boring. So we've replaced it with something else that gives the image impact and really makes that building stand out. So from a commercial point of view, I use that sort of stuff quite often. It's a good thing to get into, have a look at it, maybe start thinking about putting it into your workflow if you don't. Yeah, I think that'll take you a long way. So, we were having a pretty good week. Why is it that something or someone always comes along and pees you off when things are going right? What is it about life? What is it about a universe that doesn't want you just to be happy 24/7? Anyway, that's probably more to do with my well-being than anyone else that I let it affect. that's life, that's the way we work. So, after having such a good week at work, first week back, yeah, didn't really do any work. Did a lot of marketing, a lot of organising, but we didn't do any work paid. Yeah. So definition of work was pretty loose this week. Although we did book stuff in for next week, which is great. We've got products to shoot and we'll take you on those next week so you can see how we do those. That'd be quite interesting. And obviously I played a lot this week. So, how do you get around the fact that sometimes people pee you off and you feel a little bit down? Edit. Find a photo that you've got that you haven't looked at in ages, edit it, make it look fantastic, and then you'll feel better. Well, I hope that's the case. So, let's go find a photo and let's go and edit it. I think that's it. So nothing spectacular, it wasn't supposed to be, but I feel good that I've done that. It was something that I've been planning to do for quite a while. And there's a quad that I'm going to do. I'm going to show you about artboards and that. So maybe we'll do that on the next one. And we talk about artboards and how artboards work in Photoshop as well, because actually it's a really useful thing to use, especially if you're doing stuff like this and replicating stuff around. That's it as is. We will now do some other ones with different colours and make it all match. And this is where the artboard comes in, and I think you'll like that in the next one. So we'll do that next week. So yeah, like and subscribe is always really appreciated if you could do that. And hopefully I'll be in a better mood next week. Yeah, I think we will. That's cheered me up a bit. That was good to do. I'm pleased now. Until I get the next text message, which, yeah, we hate. Anyway, until then, see you later.